There is a certain poetry in machines, and there is a story that proves that sometimes the heartbeat of a company can survive even the darkest times. This is the story of BMW, the Bavarian Motorworks, a brand that would rise from the ruins of war, teeter on the edge of bankruptcy, and ultimately define what it means to be the ultimate driving machine. Our story begins in 1916, in a Europe torn apart by the First World War. The sky above Bavaria is filled with the roar of engines, as the fledgling BMW factory in Munich hums with purpose. Here, engineers design aircraft engines that will carry soldiers and machines across the skies. Precision is everything. Speed is everything. The company's emblem, the blue and white roundel, is already a symbol of Bavaria's pride and ingenuity. Later, many would call it a spinning propeller, a fitting metaphor, though its roots are in the Bavarian flag. BMW's early years are marked by innovation. The BMW, the 3A aircraft engine, introduced during the war, earns the company a reputation for reliability and engineering excellence. Pilots praise its performance, and the brand begins to gain international recognition. Yet victory is fleeting. In 1918, Germany loses the war. Factories are stripped, the economy collapses, and the Treaty of Versailles forbids BMW from producing aircraft engines. The company that soared through the sky now faces the devastating silence of defeat. The post-war years are dark. Engineers wander among the ruins of Munich, clutching blueprints for machines they are no longer allowed to build. To survive, BMW pivots to entirely new products: railway brakes, agricultural equipment, even household items. It is a humbling period, yet the dream of motion, of speed, never dies. Within these walls, innovation smolders quietly, waiting for the right moment to ignite. By 1923, that spark returns with the BMW R32 motorcycle. This machine is not just a mode of transportation. It is a statement. Featuring a horizontally opposed boxer engine and shaft drive, the R32 establishes engineering principles that will define BMW for a century. Lightweight, reliable, and beautifully balanced, it dominates European motorcycle races. The R32 is more than a vehicle. It is a promise that BMW is back in the business of engineering excellence. The company's ambitions extend beyond two wheels. In 1928, BMW acquires Dixie, a small German automobile manufacturer. Their first cars are modest, essentially licensed copies of the Austin 7, but they mark BMW's first step into the automotive world. By the 1930s, BMW introduces the legendary 328 Roadster, a sports car that will become a racing icon. Its lightweight frame, advanced aerodynamics, and precision handling set new standards. Drivers praise its balance, while engineers continue to refine the principles of performance that would define BMW for decades. The 328's victories in races such as the Mille Miglia and Targa Florio are not just trophies. They are proof that BMW can compete at the highest levels of automotive performance. Every curve, every engine, every gear shift tells a story of ambition and precision. This philosophy, the combination of engineering, performance, and driver engagement, is the soul of BMW. Then comes the shadow of war again. In 1939, Germany plunges into World War II. BMW's factories are repurposed to produce aircraft engines for the Luftwaffe and motorcycles for the Wehrmacht. The factories hum with activity, yet moral darkness spreads. Forced labor is used, and BMW, like many companies of the era, is entwined in the machinery of a brutal regime. By 1945, the war leaves Germany in ruins. Munich is a city of rubble. BMW's plants are destroyed, and the Allies forbid engine production. The company teeters on the brink of collapse. Engineers return to handcrafting what little they can, often working by candlelight amidst the wreckage. For BMW, survival becomes an act of defiance. In the chaotic years of the post-war era, the company pivots again, producing bicycles, typewriters, and household items. These are modest products, but they keep the company alive. It is during this time that a seemingly ridiculous idea will become BMW's lifeline: the Isetta. The Isetta, introduced in the mid-1950s, is a bubble car like no other. Single front opening door, tiny 250cc engine, and minuscule size make it almost laughable. Yet in post-war Europe, With fuel shortages and destroyed infrastructure, the Isetta is revolutionary. Affordable, efficient, and oddly charming, it sells by the hundreds of thousands, putting BMW back on the map. The tiny bubble car keeps the company's dream alive, one small engine at a time. Still, BMW's engineers are dreaming bigger. They are frustrated by the limitations of microcars. They envision a return to performance and luxury, a statement that BMW is capable of more than survival. It can thrive. This vision finds its first expression in the BMW 507, a hand-built roadster launched in 1956 for the American market. The car is stunning, sleek, elegant, and powerful, with curves that capture light and imagination alike. Celebrities, including Elvis Presley, fall in love with it. But here's the cruel twist. Every car costs far more to build than it sells for. The 507 is beautiful but financially disastrous. BMW edges closer to the abyss. By 1959, bankruptcy is a very real possibility. A takeover by Mercedes-Benz seems inevitable. It is at this critical juncture that Herbert Quandt intervenes. Visionary businessman, Quandt sees potential where others see only failure. He invests his personal fortune, restructures the company, and demands a radical shift. BMW must define itself through engineering excellence, not imitation. This gamble will save BMW, but it will also set the stage for the company's future identity. The focus will no longer be mere survival. It will be precision, performance, and the joy of driving. BMW's story from 1916 to 1959 is a saga of extremes: soaring innovation and catastrophic collapse, triumph on the racetrack and near extinction in the boardroom. It is a story of people, engineers, dreamers, and visionaries, who refused to accept defeat. Every early motorcycle, every post-war microcar, every roadster tells a story of resilience and ambition. By 1960, BMW has not yet become the icon we know today, but its foundation is laid. The company has endured wars, financial crises, and the absurdities of post-war Europe. It has produced machines that are both practical and poetic, and it has cultivated the spirit that will drive its renaissance. And that renaissance is about to begin with a car that will change everything, the Neue Klasse. By the early 1960s, BMW stood at a crossroads. The post-war survival era was behind it, yet the company was still finding its identity. Financial crises had tested its limits, but now, with the support of Herbert Quandt, BMW could dream again, not just of surviving, but of defining what it meant to build cars for drivers who cared about more than transportation. The moment of rebirth came in 1961 with the launch of the BMW Neue Klasse, or New Class. The 1500 model was revolutionary. Compact yet powerful, it combined precise handling, sporty performance, and elegant practicality. The Neue Klasse was not the fastest car on the road, nor the most luxurious, but it was the first BMW that truly captured the essence of the brand: balance, engineering integrity, and sheer driving pleasure. Unlike Mercedes, which represented comfort and prestige, or Volkswagen, which embodied practicality and reliability, BMW began to carve a unique space. The Neue Klasse offered a driving experience that spoke to the senses, steering that communicated, engines that responded like extensions of the driver's will, and suspension that made even tight corners feel like poetry in motion. In Germany, Europe, and soon in America, BMW earned a following. These were not just customers, they were believers. The success of the Neue Klasse led to a rapid expansion of the lineup, the 1800, 2000, and eventually the 2002. The 2002 turbocharged variant introduced technology that would later become the hallmark of BMW's engineering: lightweight construction, precise suspension geometry, and high-revving engines that rewarded skillful driving. The 2002 became a cultural icon, appearing in films, magazines, and the hearts of enthusiasts worldwide. It was in this era that BMW made another critical decision: racing. Motorsports would become not only a marketing tool, but a laboratory for innovation. The BMW 3.0 CSL, introduced in the early 1970s, is the most famous product of this philosophy. Nicknamed the Batmobile for its radical aerodynamic wings, This car dominated touring car championships across Europe. Lightweight, powerful, and agile, the 3.0 CSL was a perfect blend of technology and artistry. Engineers worked obsessively, tweaking every suspension arm, every gear ratio, every aerodynamic surface. The goal was not just to win races, it was to transfer that racetrack DNA to road cars, giving everyday drivers a taste of performance that was once reserved for professional racers. Out of this motorsport obsession, the BMW M division was born. M stood for motorsport, but its influence went far beyond the track. Every car from the M division was engineered to deliver a visceral connection between driver and machine. The BMW M1, developed in collaboration with Lamborghini, was the first true M car. A mid-engine supercar, rare, beautiful, and uncompromising. It showcased what BMW could do when engineering and ambition were left free to run wild. The M1's development was not without drama. Conflicts over design, manufacturing delays, and the challenge of balancing performance with reliability made it one of the most intense engineering projects of the decade. The 1980s brought global recognition. The E30 M3, a compact, boxy coupe, became a touring car legend. It won countless races in the Deutsche Tourenwagen Meisterschaft (DTM) series, and became a benchmark for driver engagement and performance. BMW's philosophy was simple. Cars should be built for humans, not just for markets. Every steering wheel, pedal, and gear shift was a part of a dialogue between car and driver. The 5 Series and 7 Series evolved alongside the M3, balancing luxury and performance. The E28 M5, launched in 1984, was revolutionary. A 4-door sedan with the heart of a sports car, combining the practicality of a family car with the soul of a racing machine. Engineers obsessed over weight distribution, suspension tuning, and engine response. Drivers felt the result immediately. An M5 was not just a car. It was an experience. In the late 1970s and 1980s, BMW also became a design icon. The Hofmeister kink, the subtle curve in the C-pillar of nearly every BMW sedan and coupe, symbolized elegance, heritage, and attention to detail. Interior ergonomics, driver-focused dashboards, and precise instrumentation were all carefully crafted to deliver a sense of control and confidence. Every model carried the DNA of decades of racing, engineering, and human-centered design. During this era, BMW also expanded internationally, establishing a presence in America, Asia, and other key markets. Unlike some competitors, BMW did not compromise its engineering philosophy for market trends. Instead, it introduced vehicles that preserved the essence of the brand while meeting local regulations and preferences. This commitment to identity would pay off for decades to come. The late 1980s also brought experiments in technology. Fuel injection, anti-lock brakes, and aerodynamic enhancements became standard on performance models. BMW engineers explored lightweight materials, early electronics, and turbocharging, always with the philosophy that technology should enhance, not replace, the driver's connection with the car. The era of the E30 M3, 28 M5, and 3.0 CSL solidified BMW's reputation. By 1989, BMW was no longer just a German car manufacturer. It was a global symbol of engineering excellence, precision, and performance-driven philosophy. Enthusiasts around the world recognized that a BMW was not just a machine. It was a partner in motion, a statement of skill, and a reward for those who appreciated the art of driving. BMW's narrative during these 3 decades is one of vision, perseverance, and refinement. It is a story of engineers pushing the limits of physics and aesthetics, of executives making calculated bets on innovation, and of drivers who rewarded the brand with loyalty, passion, and devotion. The foundation laid by the Neue Klasse and the M division would carry BMW into the global stage and prepare it for the challenges and triumphs of the next era, global expansion and technological revolution. The 1990s were a pivotal decade for BMW, a period of ambition, experimentation, and global expansion. Having solidified its identity as the ultimate driving machine, BMW set its sights on new markets, new technologies, and new brands. It was a time of both triumph and risk, a time that would define the company for the 21st century. In 1994, BMW acquired the British Rover Group, a move that sent shockwaves through the automotive world. The goal was audacious: to expand BMW's portfolio into new segments, from affordable cars to luxury vehicles. Yet Rover proved to be a complex challenge. Cultural differences, misaligned engineering standards, and financial instability made integration difficult. Despite efforts, Rover never fully met BMW's expectations, and by 2000, BMW divested most of the group. But the lessons learned were invaluable. BMW discovered how to manage global brands while maintaining its own identity, a skill that would serve it well in future ventures. Meanwhile, BMW found success elsewhere. The Mini brand, acquired in 1994, became a renaissance of automotive heritage. BMW preserved the classic Mini's iconic design while modernizing engineering, safety, and performance. Launched in 2001, the new Mini was a cultural phenomenon. A car that was both playful and precise, capturing hearts around the world. BMW proved it could honor tradition while innovating for modern drivers. Even more prestigious was the acquisition of Rolls-Royce in 1998. Unlike Rover, Rolls-Royce aligned perfectly with BMW's values: engineering excellence, luxury, and craftsmanship. BMW invested in the brand, modernizing production, while preserving the heritage and attention to detail that Rolls-Royce enthusiasts expected. The world watched as BMW successfully managed to uphold the legacy of the world's most revered luxury brand, while ensuring its sustainability into the new millennium. At the same time, BMW's own product lines evolved dramatically. The E39 M5, introduced in 1998, became an icon of its era. With a 4.9-liter V8 engine producing 394 horsepower, it combined blistering performance with understated luxury. Drivers described it as a perfect balance. The engine sang, the suspension was taut yet comfortable, and the car felt alive in the hands of anyone who could coax its full potential. The E46 M3, launched in 2000, was another milestone. A naturally aspirated inline-six engine, rear-wheel drive, and perfectly balanced chassis made it a favorite among enthusiasts and racers alike. BMW continued to refine every detail. Steering response, pedal feel, and even the sound of the exhaust were tuned to deliver an emotional experience. This was engineering as art. Beyond the M cars, BMW also produced some of the most celebrated luxury and performance vehicles of the era: the E38 7 Series, E53 X5, and Z8 Roadster. Each model represented the perfect marriage of technology and driving pleasure. The Z8, for example, combined retro-inspired design with modern performance, becoming a collector's dream and a statement of BMW's design philosophy. During this era, technology became increasingly central to BMW's identity. Fuel injection, electronic stability control, advanced ABS systems, and lightweight materials were integrated seamlessly into vehicles. Yet BMW's engineers remained committed to one principle: technology should enhance the driving experience, not replace it. Every new electronic feature was carefully calibrated to preserve the soul of driving. BMW also began preparing for a future that would demand sustainability. The first experiments with hybrid and electric propulsion began in the late 1990s and early 2000s. These were modest projects at first, but they planted the seeds for what would become the I division, a revolutionary approach to mobility that would redefine BMW in the next decade. Global expansion meant not only new products, but also new markets. BMW invested in production facilities in the United States, South Africa, and China. Each factory became a hub of precision engineering, ensuring that every vehicle, whether an M3 or a Mini Cooper, met the exacting standards of Munich. BMW's philosophy was consistent worldwide: build cars for the driver, not for compromise. The cultural impact of BMW during this period cannot be overstated. Films, television, and popular culture embraced the brand as a symbol of precision, aspiration, and lifestyle. Driving a BMW became an experience of both engineering and emotion. Enthusiasts celebrated its connection between machine and human, While critics noted that BMW had managed the delicate balance between luxury, performance, and technology in a way few manufacturers could match. By 2010, BMW had emerged from these 2 decades stronger, more diverse and more innovative than ever. The company had survived ambitious acquisitions, technological shifts, and global market pressures, all while staying true to its identity. BMW was no longer merely a German car manufacturer. It was a global symbol of engineering excellence, luxury, and performance-driven design philosophy. The foundation was set for the next chapter: electrification, digital transformation, and a reimagining of what it meant to be the ultimate driving machine in a rapidly changing world. BMW's story was far from over, and in many ways the most revolutionary era was just beginning. By the dawn of the 2010s, BMW had already established itself as a global automotive icon. Decades of engineering excellence, motorsport success, and design mastery had solidified the brand's reputation. Yet the world was changing. Environmental awareness, digitalization, and new mobility technologies began to reshape the automotive landscape. BMW faced a challenge: how to preserve the soul of driving while embracing the future. The answer came with the creation of BMW's I division, a bold step into electrification. In 2013, the BMW i3 was introduced, a compact, fully electric city car unlike anything seen before. It was lightweight, carbon fiber reinforced, and designed from the ground up for efficiency and sustainability. But true to BMW's philosophy, the i3 was also fun to drive. Its electric motor delivered instant torque, and the car's nimble handling gave drivers a sense of connection, rarely associated with EVs. The i3 was more than a car. It was a statement. BMW could innovate without sacrificing its identity. In 2014, BMW pushed the boundaries further with the i8, a plug-in hybrid supercar that looked like it had leaped from the pages of a science fiction novel. With gull-wing doors, a low-slung aerodynamic body, and a combination of a turbocharged 3-cylinder engine and electric motors, the i8 was both futuristic and unmistakably BMW. Engineers obsessively tuned the chassis, brakes, and power delivery to ensure that despite its electric components, the driving experience remained visceral and thrilling. The i8 was proof that sustainability and emotion could coexist, and that BMW could lead the charge into a new era of mobility. The evolution continued with the i4 and iX, representing BMW's commitment to electrification for mainstream and luxury segments. The i4, a fully electric sedan, combined performance and range, offering rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive configurations. Its sleek silhouette, driver-focused cockpit, and precise handling made it a worthy successor to the 3 Series, bridging the gap between tradition and innovation. Meanwhile, the iX, an electric SUV, embodied BMW's philosophy in a larger, more luxurious package, integrating cutting-edge autonomous driving technologies, advanced connectivity, and sustainable materials. But electrification was not BMW's only focus. The company embraced digitalization in every aspect of design, engineering, and customer experience. Touch-sensitive dashboards, intelligent driver assist systems, and cloud-connected services transformed BMWs into machines that learned and adapted, without losing the essence of driving engagement. Engineers worked tirelessly to ensure that autonomy and technology never replaced human control, but instead enhanced safety and convenience. The brand's guiding principle remained the same: the car must feel alive in the hands of the driver. BMW's modern era also honors its past. The revival of the Neue Klasse EV platform in recent years demonstrates a deep respect for heritage while embracing the future. Every curve, every proportion, and every technological choice pays homage to decades of engineering philosophy while preparing the brand for a world dominated by electric and connected vehicles. BMW's designers and engineers treat each vehicle as a living story, one that connects the first R32 motorcycle, the 328 Roadster, and the M1 supercar to the i4 and iX of today. Motorsport continues to shape BMW's identity, even in the electric age. Formula E participation, track-focused electric prototypes, and hybrid racing programs allow engineers to experiment with cutting-edge battery, motor, and aerodynamic technologies, ensuring that racing DNA continues to flow into production vehicles. Even as the cars of tomorrow evolve, the connection between track and street, between driver and machine, remains intact. Culturally, BMW continues to captivate. Films, video games, and digital media showcase the brand as a symbol of engineering precision, driving pleasure, and aspirational design. Enthusiasts around the world recognize that a BMW is not simply transportation. It is an emotional experience, a testament to human ingenuity and dedication. Looking back over more than a century, the journey of BMW is extraordinary. From aircraft engines in World War I, to motorcycles and sports cars in the interwar years, to post-war survival with the Isetta, the company has repeatedly faced existential threats. It has turned near bankruptcy into opportunity, crafted legendary models, dominated motorsport, expanded globally, and embraced technology without sacrificing its soul. Today, BMW stands at the intersection of heritage and innovation. Its cars are electric, connected, and digitally advanced, yet every model carries the DNA of precision engineering, balanced performance, and driving pleasure. The blue and white roundel still evokes motion, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Engineers, designers, and drivers continue to write new chapters in a story that began more than a century ago, proving that BMW is not just a brand, it is a living legend. As we look to the future, BMW faces challenges unlike any before: autonomous vehicles, artificial intelligence, and a global shift in mobility. Yet one principle remains unchanged. The driver must remain at the heart of every vehicle. Every steering wheel, every pedal, every engine, and every curve of metal is a promise that BMW will continue to deliver joy, excitement, and connection for generations to come. BMW is more than a car company. It is a story of resilience, innovation, and human creativity. It is a symbol of what happens when vision meets engineering, when passion meets precision, and when history meets the future. And the road ahead, much like the story itself, stretches endlessly, full of possibility, adventure, and the unmistakable thrill of driving.